Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, June 16th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please get the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card that we are starting our day off with today is the 9 of Cups in its reversal. We got this card yesterday. So there is some feelings of dissatisfaction or discontentment here. There is a point of exhaustion that you're potentially reaching right now, or you're trying to work through. There are some moments or circumstances or situations right now where it can feel like a point of frustration because you are feeling or recognizing that there are some areas right now where you feel like you're not able to show your full breadth of possibilities, or more so that something about a circumstance or situation isn't showing its full breadth of possibilities to you at this moment. This could be feeling like some feelings of dissatisfaction or frustration rising up, some feelings of feeling put out or at a loss, if you will. Now let's continue to get clarification on these cards. Next card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread is the 4 of Wands in its reversal. So a lot of this feeling of frustration could be in relation to any short-term plans or short-term goals. This is all the work that we saw you guys working on last week when we saw this card coming up with that 4 of Wands in its reversal. There is some feelings of frustration, and this could be related to your immediate feelings of the short-term plans, the short-term path. Today could be a lot of work as it relates to adjustment right now, in putting some point of correction, in laying these plans for yourself out so that you have better optics as it relates to those short-term paths and those short-term goals that you're hoping to achieve for yourself at this moment. This is a moment where you don't want to be feeling discouraged. They're seeing like there's a lot of energy of discouragement as it relates to these 2 cards, and this is going to be a hurdle that needs to be overcome today as you proceed forward from this point. Center card for today's spread is, we have here coming through with our 9 of Wands in its reversal. So what are we really seeing here? There is this feeling of wanting to come out of your shell at this moment, that you may have been moving or operating right now from a state of having your guard up or feeling very guarded and wounded. But this is a moment that we see that the way that you're going to kind of overcome any of these blockages is moving out of anything that you feel has been creating any point of doubt or fear. What we're really seeing here is a lot of feelings of anxiety and discouragement rising up right now around your own doubts and fears as it relates to the short-term future. But we see the fact that the way to overcome that blockage right now is not to let yourself get caught in that anxiety and fear, but to push through it to a certain extent, to make sure that you are moving from a point of confidence as a point of, instead of letting those doubts or those fears overcome. And today what we're really seeing is this is you kind of breaking through that blockage. Now we saw this yesterday with the masculine energy coming through very strongly, because we recognize that with the masculine energy having to employ a lot of level of self-control and communication to overcome any of these blockages that they themselves were experiencing. For feminine energy, this is potentially coming through more about overcoming an emotional hurdle that you may be feeling around your own personal anxieties around doubts and fears at this time. The 4th card that we have coming through today for our 5-card spread is the 2 of Cups in its reversal. The 2 of Cups in its reversal. So this has a lot to do with making sure that there is an alignment as it relates to partnership energy. And this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you are in union or not. For masculine energy and for feminine energy today, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, there is a concentration at looking at the partnerships that are around you right now, working right now through any feelings or hurdles or obstacles that you may be currently experiencing if you are in union, to try to overcome any of those short-term plans or short-term goals that you feel that you don't have the complete clarity on. Having some feelings of feeling some anxieties or doubts and fears as it relates to that. But for masculine and feminine, we see that the solution for those in union is not to let those doubts and fears override the connection, though we do see them having some deeper impact on it overall right now for both energies. While for those that are not in union right now, this could be feeling some doubts and fears as it relates to the partnerships that you potentially have around you at this moment, or feeling some points of frustration as you proceed forward right now as it relates to partnership. This is a lot of personal issues coming to the forefront as you feel some points of dysregulation in terms of how to move forward in partnership in a way that's going to create this sense of clarity and support as you proceed forward at this time. Now, our fifth card for our 5-card spread for today is... Oh, we like this. We've got the devil in its reversal. So this is a moment of healing, though, that we are seeing. And we like to see this energy here today because what we're really recognizing is this is the path of overcoming some of those blockages that you're currently experiencing as it relates to your own personal doubts and fears right now. Again, there are some circumstances and situations that are creating points of frustration for you right now, that are triggering you, that are making you feel a little put out, that are making you feel like you are at a disadvantage. But we are seeing here for both masculine and feminine, this is a point of trying to overcome any of these personal personal issues that you're currently experiencing, moving through any feelings of doubt or insecurity, not wanting to kind of move from a place of operating from a point of anxiety, but really trying to have to pull for a lot of confidence today as it relates for those in partnership, working through any difficulties in partnership related to some feelings of concern. And for those not in partnership right now, this is putting a lot of orientation on some of the paths or pathways in the past that may have led you to less than ideal partnerships, moving from a fear-based mentality. But we see here with this devil card in its reversal that today is a day of healing. This is a day of really putting an orientation on what is working, what you feel is healing and supportive in your life in this moment versus what is not. For some of you, this is a lot of orientation right now on the partnerships that are around you, really looking at them right now and asking, how can you heal them? How can they be reached a level of support so that you will have more confidence going forward from this point? While for others right now, this is a moment of potentially moving away from partnerships that you feel are creating these points of uncertainty for you, that are creating this resolution as it relates to the path going forward. But for both energies, what we like to see right now is this is an act of healing. This is an act of really trying to move out of anything that you are feeling is need-based, but instead wanting to move into something that feels productive and supportive as you proceed forward from this point. Now, let's see if we can get some clarification on these cards, shall we? Clarification right now between our 9 of Cups in its reversal in combination with the 4 of Wands in its reversal. So today is going to be a day of really trying to reorient as it relates to the plans, as it relates to the path moving forward, overcoming any of these feelings of hurdles or adversity that you're feeling right now as it relates to seeing that path for yourself at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Moon card. I'm not surprised to see it. So this is what needs to be overcome right now in order to help you move into a state of better easement. There are some situations or circumstances right now where you are feeling like you don't have the full optics. Today is a day of working to try to get that transparency, trying to get that clarity, trying to uncover anything that you feel is causing some of this difficulty, that is causing some of this blockage, that the pathways that are feeling like you don't have enough light shed on them to help guide your path forward at this time, that is making you feel somewhat put out or indisposed. Today is a day of really trying to work to get this type of transparency as you proceed forward from this point. For some of you right now, this could be feeling more like a point of frustration, that there may be feeling like there's some intentional obfuscation occurring as it relates to those short-term plans and path that you are trying to work through right now. For others right now, this is just working with energy around you to try to get this clarity, to overcome any feelings of not having that transparency in terms of what that path looks like as you proceed forward from this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 4 of Wands in its reversal in combination with our 9 of Wands in its reversal. So again, this is a moment that we like to see. We like to see this 9 of Wands in its reversal because what this is really indicating right now is while you are experiencing some feelings of doubt or fear or uncertainty as it relates to the path ahead, we are seeing that you're not letting yourself move from a fear-based mentality, but you are allowing yourself a degree of confidence to push through your own feelings of anxiety to try to get clarification on these points right now. May I please get one card to clarify? 2 cards coming out to clarify right now. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. We've got the 2 cards coming out here right now. So this is that moment of feeling a point of completion. And this is going to be, again, moving away from circumstances. And we saw this in the cards in the spread yesterday. So again, for many of you right now, this is a point of orienting on what is working versus what is not. Really putting a lot of key attention right now in the spaces or places that you feel like are just kind of resulting in dead ends right now, that are not giving you that clarity of purpose, that are not creating that sense of optimism for you at this time. But again, for the other point, the reason that you're doing this work right now is so that you are putting your efforts and energy right now into the spaces and places that are going to lead you to your best and brightest outcome. Today is a day of getting a lot of clarification on these points right now, to really come to a determination point and ask yourself, as it relates to some of the places and direction that you're moving into right now, is this something that you want to continue to proceed upon? Is this going to show you the result that you are hoping to achieve at this moment? Or is this something that you should just kind of let lie or move away from, because it is not creating that sense of optimism, is not creating that sense of joy, it is not giving you that promise or fulfillment of a long-term point of success as you proceed forward from this point. We are seeing here that you are taking a lot of steps today around situations and circumstances in your own life to really decide what you are going to push forward on in this moment versus what you are going to leave behind. Very powerful energy here with these 10 cards coming up in their upright. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 4 of Wands in its reversal, in combination right now with the 2 of Cups. This is where we see that point of clarification coming right now. There is some points of feeling some frustration, some doubts, some fears as it relates to what the path looks forward on. And this has to do with partnership energy. I'm going to say right now, this doesn't necessarily need to be relationship based, but it certainly can be. This is more a deeper assessment right now in terms of any of the partnerships that you're currently in your life right now, and really putting a lot of critical assessment on them right now to ask yourself, do you see that possible outcome? Do you see this moving in a positive direction? How to overcome and work through any of these blockages. And this is going to be that moment for both masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, where again, you are either working right now in unison with energy to overcome any of these feelings of doubt or fear as it relates to the short-term path and the short-term goal. While for the others, this is a moment that you may be moving away from some partnerships that you find yourself in right now, simply because you're recognizing that you don't necessarily see that bright possibility on the horizon. May I please get one card to clarify? 2 cards coming out to clarify right now, and they are, we have here, we love to see this energy. This is the positivity that we want to see in this moment. We have here coming through with our 8 of Pentacles in combination with our 2 of Wands. The way through this right now is really showing through work and communication. Work and communication is the path forward through any of these hurdles and difficulties right now. So what we're really identifying is a day of today really coming into a point of easement, working through a lot of these blockages. And this is going to be a bit different depending on where you're falling with these partnerships. Again, a point of orientation towards any of the partnerships in your life at this time, be they romantic, be they professional, really trying to clarify and get those optics that you need in order to proceed forward. And we're seeing that for all energy today, this is a day of really putting the work in, really like drilling down, really getting your nose to the grindstone, if you will, and putting a lot of work in, not only in doing the things necessary to create a point of clarity and easement on these partnerships, but also basing a lot of this in putting out that communication to help guide your path forward with a better sense of optics, moving into a space of optimism as we proceed forward today. Love this energy. Love seeing this for us today. This is very, very positive. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 2 of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Devil in its reversal. And this is what we really like to see, because what we're really identifying right now is for all partnerships in your life right now, you are working to get a point of healing on them. You are working to overcome any difficulties as it relates to the partnerships that are around you at this time, trying to come into a point of easement, trying to come into a point of healing, trying to be able to move these into a productive space that is going to allow you to grow and achieve and thrive in the way that you feel is the most healthy for you and the energies associated with you going forward. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our King of Cups in its reversal. This is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy today, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy today, I need to warn you that this could feel like a bit of emotional overflow, that there's something around these circumstances or situations, some of these doubts or fears that are rising up that are leading you to a point of some emotional dysregulation. Now, this is going to either feel like one of two different scenarios for you right now, masculines. This is either going to feel like an emotional overflow, just feeling like you can't contain your own emotions, feeling a bit overwhelmed by your own emotionality today. While for other parts of the masculine energy right now, this could be feeling like a point of complete disassociation from your own emotionality as you struggle with this point right now, because we do see that something about this point of healing that you're trying to come through right now in amending or correcting or working through any of this partnership energy is affecting you in your emotional center right now. There is something here that you may need to feel like you can express, but you're having difficulty expressing because of your anxieties and doubts and fears as it relates to partnership at this moment. This is some of that hurdle that we see that you need to achieve right now with that Nine of Wands and its reversal. This is masculine energy having to kind of fight for the emotional self-control as you work through any difficulties in partnership at this moment, all for the sake of deeper healing. While for feminine energy right now, this is going to feel a little bit different, because what we are really identifying here is, again, your orientation is very much right now on working through any circumstances or situations that you feel you're not having that equality in, you're not having that equal give and take. You're working through any of the disparities in your partnerships at this moment, all for the sake of better healing. But there's something around the masculine energy around you at this moment that may be feeling like it causes a point of difficulty in order to be able to successfully do so. And this is in recognizing that there's something around these circumstances and situations that you're currently experiencing that lead the masculine energy to be in a point of emotional overwhelm. And again, that emotional dysregulation is either going to be expressing itself as an overflow of emotionality or a complete kind of cutting off or disassociation from being able to manage their own emotional needs right now. And for feminine energy right now, this is going to be a lot of questions on partnership coming through today, because this is a moment that you're potentially looking at the partnerships around you right now, and you are asking yourself, is there a point of healing with this energy? Is this something that we can work through right now? Or is this something that is causing too much of a rift that isn't allowing for an equal give and take? Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Moon card in combination with, this is the answer to the question that we're seeing as it relates to some of these difficulties around the partnerships at this moment. The Moon card in combination with our double 10 cards here. So the 10 of Wands with the 10 of Swords. So this is the day that you're working to get clarity around the situations and circumstances that you are putting your energy in right now. And what you're really trying to identify right now is, are these spaces and places creating the clarity that are going to allow you to be able to push forward and continue to commit your time and energy to them? Or are they just creating moments right now that you're recognizing you're not getting this clarity, you're not getting this illumination, you're not getting that transparency that you ideally desire at this point, and that is creating a point that you have to kind of put something down or let it go? May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with, oh my goodness gracious, this is the Queen of Cups. So this, if you guys are wondering if the masculine and the feminine energy right now is like aligning, like this is that reflection point that we're really seeing. Because what are we seeing right now? This is that moment that we are really identifying right now, that again, it is going to feel a little bit different. I have to say, the energies right now are reflecting each other. They are reflecting each other, which doesn't mean that they're in harmony, because it is an opposite reflection. For masculine and feminine, this is going to feel a little bit different, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is that moment of working to achieve that clarity, working to achieve that insight, working through anything you feel you do not have the full optics or understanding on. Also, you can help to decide where you're going to put your energy going forward. What is allowing that path of easement moment for you, showing the capacity. Feminine is willing to do this work for themselves at this time versus those situations or circumstances that are not creating that clarity that you're just kind of letting go on. And this is a moment for feminine energy of coming into emotional balance. This is that emotional center that we want to see for the feminine energy. And I will point out this card will not stay in the deck. We've gotten this card like 4 times over the last few days. For feminine energy, this is a moment of coming into emotional regulation, really asking what is creating this deeper emotional balance for you at this time that is allowing you to push forward here. And that's why the feminine energy needs this clarity, because it helps create that sense of emotional balance for them at this time. Feminine energy is not in a point of emotional overflow. They are maintaining a certain degree of composure as they critically look at the situations and circumstances around them right now, moving with a state of intentionality, even while feeling their emotional balance. While for masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are also working through any kind of hurdles and difficulties as it relates to having that clarity, having that deeper sense of purpose. Again, putting your time and concentration in those pathways that you feel are allowing you that clarity and that insight, putting away or letting go of anything you feel isn't shedding that kind of light for you at this moment, all towards an orientation towards a feminine energy that you recognize is in a state of emotional balance. This being that moment of recognition. For masculine energy, we see here that you are moving right now towards an emotionally balanced feminine, and you are getting either the support to push through any of your own personal hurdles and obstacles right now as you try to get this clarity for yourself in this moment, either with the support of a feminine energy that is able to maintain this point of emotional balance, even as you are potentially feeling a point of emotional imbalance at this time. Or for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is you trying to manifest or work towards a feminine energy that you recognize is able to maintain this level of emotional balance, even in the wake of some circumstances and situations that are causing some point of difficulty. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our double 10 cards here. So our 10 of Wands in combination with our 10 of Swords, in combination with our 2 of Wands and our 8 of Pentacles. So this being a moment right now of working towards your goals, working towards those spaces and places that are going to allow you to work and to do the things that you desire to the capacity that you're truly able. For both masculine and feminine energy right now, what we're really witnessing is this moment of putting down anything that you feel isn't aligned to your own path right now, allowing your energy and concentration really to be pushed forward in those spaces and places that you feel are allowing for that communication and further allowing for this productivity as you proceed forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, what's this 5 of Wands energy that we're seeing? This is actually really interesting. And this is actually kind of beautiful if you acknowledge, if you see this. So what we're really identifying here is this is that moment, the showing for both masculine and feminine what you are truly willing to fight for. That there's something here we will point out with this 10 of Wands here. This is not necessarily the fact that you are choosing the easiest path going forward. This is a commitment right now to putting in the time, to putting in the effort, to doing the things that may be difficult at this moment, showing your own capacity and willpower to push through any kind of adversities or obstacles that you're experiencing in those spaces and places that are allowing for that communication and allowing for that productivity, because you are recognizing what it is that you're truly willing to fight for right now, even beyond any kind of conflicts. This is really showing with that 9 of Wands and its reversal that you're not moving from a fear-based mentality at this moment. You are putting your commitment and degree in to what you really care about at this moment, and you are doubling down. You are putting your energy and effort in those spaces right now so that you can communicate and so that you can work to your full efficiency. For partnerships and everything right now is what we're really seeing. This is that moment of clarity and purpose, really helping you push through and strive for what it is that truly matters to you at this moment. Love this energy today. Really beautiful. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between Our Two of Wands in combination with our Eight of Pentacles, in combination with our King of Cups in its reversal. This is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, this is that feeling of emotional overwhelm that you're currently experiencing. We are seeing here that a lot of the difficulty that masculine energy is potentially feeling right now has to do with your own emotional center, your own anxieties and doubts and fears within oneself at this moment, but also putting a lot of care and consideration to work through some of that emotional imbalance that you're experiencing today in your work, in communication, to help overcome any of these emotional hurdles or blockages that you're currently experiencing. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are also have a lot of orientation right now towards a masculine energy that you either feel is in a point of emotional imbalance, either an overexpression of emotionality that might not necessarily be helpful, or in a point of pulling back on their own emotional center. But this is the point where you are continuing to work through right now. You are putting your concentration and your energy in working through your own challenges and hurdles, and also building in communication. For some of the feminine energy right now, this is building that communication hurdle towards a masculine energy that you recognize is having this emotional blockage. While for others right now, this is potentially more of a concentration on your own self and your own degree of communication away from a potential energy that you're recognizing isn't able to come out of a point of emotional imbalance at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with, we love this. We love this. This is the Empress energy. This is what we like to see, because what we really like right now, and again, this is going to feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is coming back into your heart space. This is allowing yourself to feel your emotions. For feminine, we're seeing here there's a point of emotional regulation coming through right now with that Queen of Cups. This is a moment where, again, this is where some of the blockage for feminine has been, because we've been noticing right now that the blockage for the feminine, as we've discovered in the cards of the day, has been in their emotional center. Working through that emotional difficulty right now has been a real challenge for the feminine. But we see here that there is this moment of emotional balance that's coming in for the feminine today, where you are building that appreciation of yourself. You are doing that a lot right now. For the feminine, the key right now, in order to maintain this sense of emotional balance and really bringing this abundance towards yourself in this moment, has everything to do right now with putting your energy into what you're trying to work on and build at this moment, and also in communication. Now, for feminine energy that is in union right now, this is a moment that you are working right now, putting maybe even extra effort in towards a masculine energy that you are recognizing is in a point of emotional imbalance, kind of doubling down on the work, if you will, in support of this energy, even though you recognize that they're in this space. For the other part of the feminine energy, this could be a moment where you are recognizing that there may be a masculine energy that isn't able to show or come through with a point or degree of emotional stability for you at this moment. But we don't see that that's necessarily blocking you at this time, because we're seeing here that you are reorienting again, even in those moments, on your own self, on what you're creating for yourself, on having positive communication, even through any hurdles and challenges that you may be experiencing at this time. For masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself, as we see, you are at a point of emotional overwhelm. You are putting a lot of your concentration and attention in the work that you're trying to do at this time. And you're also putting a lot of work and intentionality in communication towards the energy. Again, for some of the masculine right now, this is with the support of a feminine energy that you feel you are in union with, that is able to maintain this degree of manifestation quality, that is able to you're moving towards your heart's desire at this moment. You are getting support in doing this, even at a point of emotional overwhelm. For the other part of the masculine collective right now, this is a moment that you yourself are potentially feeling a point of emotional overwhelm, but you are putting in work right now and communication to move towards a feminine energy that is your heart's desire, that is moving in this space of really kind of possessing these traits and qualities that you find so desirable in this moment, and almost feeling a point of emotional overwhelm as you try to do some work to come in harmony with this type of energy. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Queen of Cups in combination with our Five of Wands. Very intriguing cards to be in combination right now, because what we're really identifying at this moment right now is this is a moment that will feel a bit different for feminine and masculine energy. For feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you are coming into emotional balance. You are putting a lot of time and energy in maintaining a point of emotional balance, even through any immediate hurdles or obstacles or difficulty that you are currently experiencing. There's something about you coming into emotional balance right now that's really giving you a lot of clarity in terms of what it is that you truly want to fight for at this moment. While for masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are feeling like you have to overcome some hurdles, some difficulties in your own life right now. You are either working right now to overcome any of these hurdles and difficulties with the support of a feminine energy that you recognize is able to maintain this degree or level of emotional balance and emotional support for you, even as you go through some of these challenges at this time. For the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is you potentially making a determination to fight right now in order to manifest for yourself at this moment a representation of feminine energy that you recognize and see is at this point or has this degree of ability to maintain emotional balance, to hold their emotional center, even through a point of difficulty or struggle. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. This is the clarity. This is the clarity that we want to see. This is that point of clarification, helping to clarify that Four of Wands in its reversal that we pulled at the beginning of this spread. For feminine energy right now, the reason you're moving into this state of building this point right now of emotional balance for yourself at this moment is the fact that you are recognizing that you are willing to fight. You are willing to go through any degree of difficulty so long as you can see the path ahead. So long as feminine has that ability to see what the path ahead looks like, so long as they're able to chart their course, feminine energy is recognizing that they're willing to fight for things. They're willing to get their hands dirty. They're willing to get in the fray, as long as there is perspective as to where these things are leading and how things are going. So we see here that feminine's working right now from a point of balance, but also willing to put in a lot of energy today to create this better sense of clarity as it relates to the path going forward. While for masculine energy right now, there is a moment that you yourself are coming into play. You are working right now to fight for some things in your own life right now. You are working to build this same clarity for yourself in this moment, either with the support of a feminine energy that you recognize and see is at a point of emotional balance that is helping you through any of your current emotional imbalances at this time. While for the other part of the masculine energy right now, this is you putting in some level or degree or decision of commitment to move towards a feminine energy that you recognize is in a point of maintaining a degree or ability of emotional balance. And this is that moment that you are putting a lot of manifestation power in fighting for that energy and also trying to find a path forward, even as you have to go through any difficulties in order to do so. While continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, between our Five of Wands in combination with the Empress, do you see all this feminine energy here? Do you see all this feminine energy? So, and it's funny because yesterday we had a lot of masculine energy coming up. Today we're having all of the feminine bouncing back to come into play here. So again, this is feminine energy that is also showing this capacity and degree right now of being able to fight for what it is that truly matters to them at this moment. That there's something coming through on this with the feminine energy that is willing, that is not, feminine energy today is putting in a lot of energy in working for what they are passionate about. Feminine's putting all of their energy towards what they find their passion in right now, not letting these things go, working very hard to build this level or degree of abundance and being able to put the energy in to do so. While for masculine energy right now, again, there is this moment or feeling right now that you are experiencing some point of conflict. Again, either feeling the support of feminine energy right now around you at this time, or again, willing to fight right now towards a feminine energy that you recognize and identify is your heart's desire at this moment. Putting, again, this manifestation is either in support, getting the support from this energy at this time as you go through your own difficulties. For others right now, this is coming into terms of truly deciding to fight for a feminine energy that you have this degree or level of care and support and desirability towards at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Hierophant in its reversal. This is very intriguing. So again, this is where we see that there is something here that is requiring some unconventional approaches right now. There's something around this that is requiring a degree or difficulty as it relates to unconventional approaches. For masculine and feminine right now, this is going to feel a little bit different. For feminine energy right now, this is you coming into your power of really holding your own, maintaining your own emotional balance right now, even through some circumstances and situations that feel like they are a point of struggle for you. But we are also identifying for feminine energy that this is requiring you to take some unconventional approaches at this time. To move away, again, we are seeing that there are some circumstances and situations that you might need to feel like you have to free yourself from. This is a moment right now of allowing the feminine energy is really saying that they're able to do the things that are necessary in order to maintain this point of balance within themselves at this moment, even if it requires those unconventional approaches. While for masculine energy, what we're really identifying right now is there is this moment that you yourself are working towards right now. You are building this degree or capacity of wanting to fight and push through towards either, again, in collaboration with a feminine energy that you feel has this degree of bringing in manifestation and abundance for you at this moment as you work through any difficulties, getting a lot of support from this energy as you continue to go through your own difficulties. And this is also requiring you right now to take some unconventional approaches for yourself as it relates to the work that you need to do. For some of the masculine energy right now, this is taking unconventional approaches to get through any of the blocks or hurdles that you're currently experiencing at this time. While for the other part of the masculine energy right now, there is something about having to go through some kind of battle right now and take some unconventional approaches in order to manifest this type of energy towards you at this moment where you are focused. Final two cards for today's spread to get our final card between our Three of Wands in combination with the Hierophant in its reversal. So again, a moment right now of getting this clarity, working right now to get these optics, but also a point of having to take some unconventional approaches right now as it relates to building this sense of clarity, breaking free from any kind of paradigms that have been holding you or blocking you in place right now, really allowing this to be a moment of flexibility as you find the ways that have been blocking you. And for some of you right now, this is kind of allowing yourself to break out of any self-limiting beliefs that have been blocking you from being able to see your own path going forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. This is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this does address a feeling, and we do recognize this, that while the feminine energy is coming into a space right now where you are working on your own emotional balance, there is something around this that does create some point or orientation around your own anxieties as it relates to your own stability at this moment. That lack of stability could be coming from the fact that you are having to take some of these unconventional approaches. These unconventional approaches are pathways that you may not necessarily have explored in the past, and it's making you have to face your own fears as it relates to stability at this moment in order to carve out this path for yourself right now. But all of it is to kind of come into a space of reorienting as you proceed forward from this point. For masculine energy right now, what we are really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are going through, trying to build these optics for yourself at this moment. You are taking some unconventional approaches right now as you move forward from this point. Either with the support of a feminine energy that, again, we are seeing here is working right now from a point of emotional regulation, working from a point of feeling this degree and capacity of care for this energy, but also recognizing that there's something about the situation and circumstances that you're currently facing with this energy that is bringing up some anxieties and fears and doubts that need to be overcome as you create this point of stability going forward. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is a moment that we're seeing that your path ahead right now is something that you are keeping your focus on right now. And you may potentially be needing right now to move away from a feminine energy that you feel is creating a sense of instability around you at this moment as you proceed forward from this point. Bottom of the deck for today's spread is, this 5 of Swords, and its reversal doesn't want to leave us alone. So there is this feeling here, and this could have to do with some of that dispossession energy that we saw coming through with that 9 of Cups in its reversal that we started the spread out with. There is a feeling right now around some circumstances and situations from the past that don't feel like they're necessarily closed. They don't feel like you've necessarily gotten resolution on them right now. This could be what or some of these doubts and anxieties and fears are stirring from right now. If you're feeling this, this is a really good reminder at this time that resolution is something that we create from within ourselves, that this is a moment that may have to make you face some situations and circumstances from the past, but we're also seeing that you're doing that only to the sake of really trying to build some sense of closure for you as you proceed forward from this point. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please remember, if you book a reading with me on my site, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have a reading with me. Also, most important, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a personal reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never send you a message telling you that I have a very special message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is through my website. So please do it there. I want to thank you so much for having this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.